Hello and welcome to Connect to Love here on PRN FM, where each week is an unscripted exploration into the many facets of love, oneness, and our connection to the human spirit. I'm Lisa LeRose, and I'm joined by my fantastic co-host, Michael J. Russ, who always inspires me. Last week, we had an incredible conversation about seeing beyond first impressions, and it really got me thinking about how we can embrace our own journey, no matter how unconventional it might seem to others, because I think many of us are walking around believing that we have to have life all figured out. But what if that's not the point? What if you're not here to figure it out, but instead to create it? Think about that for a second. What if the reason so many people feel frustrated, stuck, or discouraged is because they've mistaken life for a problem to solve instead of a masterpiece to create? We're always trying to solve it, fix it, get it right, but what if that's backwards? What if you're not getting life wrong at all? That's what we're here to explore today, not just creating things, but becoming conscious creators of our entire experience. So to help us explore these questions and so many more, we are so honored to welcome back Carol Collins, Channel for the Teachers. On past episodes, the teachers have reminded us of a beautiful truth that you do not get life wrong. Instead, they invite us to ask, where are you wanting to be? If you've been following our monthly conversations with Carol, you know how profound and heart-opening this work is. And if this is your first time joining us, you're in for a very special treat. Carol is a gifted channel who works with the teachers, a collective of loving, non-physical beings dedicated to supporting humanity. They offer a perspective that gently guides us back to our natural state of love, reminding us that we're never separate from Source and that we're far more powerful than we've been taught to believe. Carol, it is such a gift to have you and the teachers back on Connect to Love. I am so excited for today's conversation. Thank you so much for being here. I want to say welcome to you and Michael. It is always such a delight. I'm so happy to have this time to be in this space with you.
Thank you so much.
I am glad to be here.
Yeah, here we go. Carol Collins, thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I always love being here. Thanks for having me every month. It's been almost, has it been a year? Yeah, it's such a wonderful, wonderful series that we've been doing for, I think it's been about a year.
Yes,
how fun is that?
It's about a year. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. I hope our audience is really enjoying it, as we are.
I believe so. We had some beautiful feedback. I get so many wonderful comments of people that tune in, and it really fills their heart, and I think that it also helps them on their journey in so many different things that we are struggling with, I think, at this time, because Michael and I have been speaking about the idea of once and getting permission and living the life that we want. And, so many of us, I think, are believing that we have to be here to figure it all out rather than to allow ourselves just to create and allow things to unfold and to pay attention to guidance. And I think that perhaps could be the reason that so many people feel frustrated or stuck or discouraged, because they've mistaken their life to be a problem to be solved. And I delve into the teachings of so many different individuals, including some individuals that I've sort of revisited, and one of those people is Walter Russell. Back in 1841, he started delving into the idea of channeling, not too different, I think, perhaps, than your journey. He started meditating and finding that there were answers beyond what this physical realm brought forth. And one of the things that he started to bring forth was the fact that we were geniuses and what we could create. And no coincidence, when I picked up Synergistic Wellness Magazine, which is the wellness magazine that is channeled by the teachers, which is absolutely amazing, in the front pages there was a message, and that said simply, forever and ever and ever is how we think. We do not dream, we think. Once we settle on a fixed amount of ideas, we create. This is how we do everything we consider. We adjust, we gather ideas, we create, we know when to begin the creation process. We do not alter our imagined destination, and we do not get discouraged ever We delight in the process of gathering and altering and creating. We love you. I just fills my heart. So I thought that would be a fun starting point,
Fabulous.
Carol and Michael. And I'm so excited to hear what they have to say about creation and what you have to say about creation, Carol.
Oh, my gosh. My thoughts on creation are, I'd love to hear what the teachers have to say. I do ask my own guide, and I have a name. I use the name James for my guide. It's something that was given to me. And he said, but truly, my name over here isn't James, but it's a name that your mind would accept without contradiction. You don't have any Jameses in your life that have posed a problem or that bullied or that were overly special that your mind would have, some kind of a conflict. Is that it was a nice and easy name. And they said there is more meaning to it than that, but nevertheless, it's a conversation that I like to have. And, I have this little notebook, and when I come up with questions, I don't always have the time to sit. If I'm driving or I'm, out doing something and a question comes to me, I'll put it into my phone and then I'll jot it into a notebook. And I just label it Q1, Q2, Q3, or in some way categorize it for what it is. And then it's so interesting. It won't be that much in the future in one of the workshops where I will know that my own questions are answered. Because it's funny, in the workshops and in the private sessions, there are so many questions that people ask, and sometimes they are existential, philosophic kind of things. People want to know, how the world works and things like that. And then there's the whole other category of, life circumstance kind of things. But, and I do that so often that I find that I don't always sit and have my own questions answered. And so I'm finding that in the workshop, my questions are getting answered, even though I'm not the one, it's answered, written in a notebook, but I'm not called on, like participants are. And so when they talk about creation, they talk about who the creator is, and that it is not us. As a matter of fact, this past Monday night, they said, you, human beings, you are human, and you are a receiver. You are not the manifester. You are not the creator. You are the receiver. You are the experiencer. You are the one who gets to see what the world has. But you don't create it. You don't. But the unconscious part of you, the non-physical part of you, it does. But the two of you are linked. Person by person by person, you are linked with a non-physical being. And that being is manifesting life to you. So you're a receiver. And they said it's like a catcher's mitt. You are a receiver. And you receive and you experience life. You receive and you experience life. You receive and you experience life. But, in so many of the teachings, it's you without the explanation of what they call duality. And it's almost, it's in the background, and it's in so many of the teachings. We have a soul. We have a non-physical component. In different eras of time, it's explained with different words, vibrational being, non-physical being, your soul entity, your, inner self. And they say it's simple. You were designed before you got here. Your life began before your physical birth was here. And that being that designed your life is the one that is the genius. It is that being that if it can manifest to you love and love only, then you have magnificent life and you have a magnificent world. You have a magnificent population. But it's rather difficult because here we have positive emotion and negative emotion. And one of the goals of physical life, the existential goal of physical life, is to be able to narrow down wavelengths of thought and choose just what you want. So in creation, this is James to Speak, Carol's Guide. We just take a nice, easy breath because there is time that you all consider ticking by, ticking by, ticking by, ticking by. But it's not like that here. We create the amount of time that we need. And so if we need to do something quickly, we identify how much time we need to get it done, and then that is time. But if we are sitting side by side with someone else who's working on a different project, the time that they are using can be quite different than ours. And so time is not manifested. It's also not steady and continuous, but you think it is. You think it is. You lose track of time, but you don't lose track of time. You just alter what time is. Now, see, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense when we talk to you, human being, because you have a manifested belief in what time is. And so when we say, you manufacture time, it is assumed by the human population that we're talking to you, and that somehow the magnificent brain in human beings can manufacture time, and that's not the case. But the non-physical being who is projecting life to you, oh, now that one is a genius. That one is powerful. Powerful beyond your imagination. They think, and they think, and they think, and they think. Is what they do. But they think and they also create. When we create, we know what we want because we've thought about it. And so we think about what we want, and then we know what we want, and then we draw the energy to us, and then we create. But there's a step in there. We decide how we want to create it. When you have a recipe, you have ingredients. And it's funny. Carol watches this show. It's a British cooking show. And for many of the segments in the show, there's a opportunity to read a recipe, your own recipe or someone else's, and you put it together, and then it's a little contest. But in every show, there is one segment, and it simply says, make this item, make the bread, make the arrangement, make this dish. And it gives no instructions. And so it's left to the person to figure out what to do, right? And so each person creates their own instructions. They decide what the ingredients are. They decide how much. They decide the order. They decide whether to mix or to whip or to fold or to aerate. They decide. Over here, we do the same thing. And so we come up with instructions. And we think about what we want, and we think about what we need, and we think about how we want to do it, and we draw energy to us, and then we devise instructions, and then we embark upon it. Because that's how creation gets done, because we don't have error, okay? But when we are in physical form, now we, technically speaking, we are not in physical form, ever. But we push our mind and we push our thought and we manifest physical form. You are manifested, past tense. You are manifested by a non-physical being. You are manifested by a genius being, by a supernatural power. You are manifested by them. So when we talk about creation, we're talking about the being that's manifesting your life. You are an object. You are a motion-activated object that interacts with other motion-activated objects. You're activated. Now, you're not puppets on a string, right? Because every ounce of life isn't predestined and pre-created prior to your birth. You interact with people, and based on that interaction, different things become priority. And then new manifesting. And so it's a constant flow. It's a beautiful flow, not just of life force energy, but of life experiences. But the creator within, it's not the creator within the brain. It's not the creator within the cells of your body. It's the being that designed your life in the first place. And that being is not side by side with you like an invisible counterpart. They are in an unconscious-like state, deep meditation. And they are connected to your body. They're connected to your body because they manifest to your body, but they are so connected that you don't know it. it's also in a different dimensional reality. And so they are where they are and you are where you are. But you operate as one. What they think about, you receive. But what they think about is what your life includes. And so there's this constant feedback loop. It is an 8, right? Because what they think about flows to physical life, and what happens in physical life flows back. And so there is a crossing over. We call it the threshold. There's a crossing over, and I receive what has been experienced in physical life, and so I push similar things to physical plane, and then it crosses the threshold again and comes back. And so it's a figure 8, figure 8, figure 8, figure 8, and 8 is abundance, and there is abundance of manifesting happening. But it's not manifesting of pure joy. And that's why more channeling is happening in the world today, because we are here to help. Sarcasm. We want to make that clear. The channelings that are happening and have been happening for quite some time is to help people understand that there is a better way to engage with each other. Hold back from assuming the negative. Hold back from harming your thoughts and your emotions and your day and your friends and your family. Pull back and assume the best. And there is more to it. There is more to it. Creation gets done, and then it's handed to the physical person. So the you, in all of those teachings, and ours, it's heard by the human being, but meant for the supernatural being who's in deepest meditation, manifesting life to the human being. It's a way of communicating with that powerful supernatural part of you from both ends, because we're always connecting with that being in the vibrational way, in the non-physical way, and we're also at times able to use channeling to communicate to the human being, because remember now the feedback loop. And so we're communicating in one-dimensional plane, and we get responses from that being directly. But when we use that technique and channel into the physical plane, well, the physical plane information, the feedback loop goes right back to that being who's in deepest meditation, because the figure 8, the crossing over, must occur. And so we call it bookending. It helps to think of it like a bookend. Each side is being spoken to infuse intelligence into the being while they are in deepest meditation. It's a very difficult process to picture, but the being is not awake. They are unconsciously manifesting life to you. And then when your life completes and you come back over here where we're speaking from, then they are stepping out of meditation, and they meet you, you meet them, and then life on the other side begins. But they also find out what your life was about and what got manifested. And when there is negativity in your lives, that's where you know guidance has not been accepted. There is such false rumor in the physical plane that life is sometimes a burden, and life is sometimes supposed to include suffering, and that it's a process and it's a lesson. There's a lesson in this. This is something that God or the universe wants me to experience. And that's false. That's false. When life is upside down, when you have a headache, or when there is war or terror or suffering or skinned knee, hurt feelings, that is evidence that guidance was not accepted. We are not a part of upside-down behavior, any of it. When you're in indecision and you can't figure out what to do, you're trying to paint your bedroom and you've got 2 colors and you can't figure out which one to choose. The mind is not the brain, not the physical body, but the non-physical mind that promotes thought to you. That one is not accepting guidance. Now, that being is genius-like, but not when they're doing duality, because they're using a technique of projection while in deepest meditation so that they can think faster, different. It's a different conversation. It's off topic of creation. But they are creating a new thought process that they'll use over here. But the creation process for everything happens from that being who is in an unconscious state. That's why it is unconscious manifesting. So they're not trying to harm your life, but they are. And they'll know it when your life completes. And then they will dive right back into it and fix things about it. And so there's fixing happening. You don't always know it because you don't always keep your eye on past, present, future. But that being is always vigilant after your life completes. And they step back in and they undo what they had created if it needs to be undone. What questions do you have, though? It's an interesting topic, creation. But creation, two halves. And one creates, the other receives. Your human form is the receiver, not the creator. So don't harm yourselves with worry that you got to get this done, that you got to make it right, that you have to be a better creator, that you have to figure it out. Because you, lowercase y, you don't. Capital Y, it does. How can you teach it? How can you influence it to give you what you're wanting? You have to be happy. Because in the happy register of emotions, it's more likely that guidance will be accepted. And that happy, beautiful life can be experienced. What do you have for us? Questions? More conversation?
What's wonderful. I'm so grateful because I think many people think of creation only as manifestation. And there was something, teachers, that you had taught, and it has echoed in my heart for quite a while, and that is love is where you are wanting to be. Joy is what you're wanting to experience. So my question would be, from that bookended figure eight, how is it that we can assist to hold that space in this experience, this life experience, so that we can experience that love and that joy in this physical form and create, using from the other side to help create that?
Well, there is a deeper meaning, and we'll share that first. Love is where you're wanting to be. We are pure love over here. Everyone is. You will be. You will no longer harbor any negative emotion. And so unconscious being who is projecting life to a physical person, where it's teacher-student relationships, it's where you are wanting to be is with pure love. You are wanting to be with the one that is guiding you. Love, purity, love, capital L, purity, is where you are wanting to be, comma, unconscious mind. Joy, comma, is what you are wanting to experience. Because the way human emotion works, happy is the basis of all things. And then you come upon topics, and then you find interest. Where you have enough happy on a topic, you will find motivation. And with enough motivation, you will want to try that topic. And when you have enough happy to cause motivation, positive motivation, and you try something, when you have enough happy, then you will try it until you succeed. And then you will find confidence. When you have confidence and you reflect upon the fact that you are good at whatever it is that you were interested in, then you will find pride. And when you sit with pride and recognize that you have pride, you will activate joy. And so it's not just vocabulary. Oh, this is a joyful day. No, that could be joy, but it could also simply be happy plus interest. It could be happy plus interest, which equals confidence. And so unconscious mind to help the human physical plane out, where you are wanting to be is with guidance. That's the love. That's love. You want to be with love. You want to be with guidance. You want to have your eye on the ball of guidance. And you are wanting joy to be your experience because you are wanting happy plus interest, which will equal confidence, which will bring you to pride, which will then launch you all the way to the wavelength of joy. And when the world, your physical plane, is filled with more wavelengths of joy, well, you will have no more sarcasm, and you will have no more self-esteem issues. And there will be more brilliance in life activities and more brilliance in your technologies and in your science and in your relationships and in your lives. You'll harbor less resentment. And so the deeper meaning is, but that's how people work. They assume that their vocabulary is enough. Questions help to resolve that problem. You know, it's like this. Once upon a time, there was a person, and that person sat at the feet of a teacher. And the teacher said this, where you need to be is with love. And what you need to experience is joy. And if the student says, I think I understand, and off he goes to experience life, he will assume that he knows what to do. But if he says, could you explain to me where love is and how I will know it, then a conversation begins, and then more teaching can be had. And when that kind of a conversation happens, then the minds of people are opened to the deeper meaning of a simple quote, right? So it's a simple quote, it's a short quote, but it's not simple. It's not simple-minded. It's not meant to be simple either. But it is meant to provide a pathway for human beings to operate. And at the same time, crossing over the threshold, completing the 8, it is guidance for the inner mind of what it needs to include. Guidance, and then promote happy plus interest plus confidence plus pride so that joy enters the world in more robust amounts. It's the literal way. It's literal wavelengths, not vocabulary.
Wow. Thank you.
Yes, definitely appreciate that.
Something,
what a conversation.
Something to think about.
Teachers. Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah.
there's a little bit to unpack here because the way we're receiving this information is so beautiful and so direct, and I appreciate that. I'm thinking that from the last thing you said, where is love and how will I know it? That is fascinating to me. Could you expound upon that just a little bit?
Yeah, we will. But it takes an open mind to understand.
Mm-hmm.
It is everywhere. It is everywhere. It is air, but it is not the air. It is the rays of the sun, but it is not the rays of the sun. It is the flower, but it is not the flower. It is time, but it is not time. It is the riddle, but the riddle is also not a riddle. When something is created, there was a thought that preceded the creation. All creations are made from non-physical minds. Now, you are physical people, and you are manifested too. And so something is created and then given to your physical life. It is given to your physical body. It is given to your physical world. From where? From across the threshold. Every human being has a non-physical counterpart who is in deepest meditation manifesting to them unconsciously. And so when a flower was created, it was created with a non-physical mind. Non-physical beings are purity of love. And so everything, the essence of everything, has non-physical love as the basis of it. So literally, there is purity everywhere. But you can't see it with your physical senses. You can't perceive it with your physical senses. But with the non-physical component, it's everywhere. The non-physical component sees the non-physical life and physical life, supernatural. Your physical bodies only see the physical plane. The non-physical mind sees the non-physical plane and the physical plane, right? It permeates both sides of the threshold. And your physical senses can't do that. So how do you know where it is? Well, you know what love feels like. You know what happy feels like. You know what a smile looks like. You know what healthy bodies and healthy lawn looks like. And so you know it by what you experience. Now, what do you do if you come upon something that is not healthy? Well, you could look the other way and simply say to yourself, not for me nor mine. But with a happy attitude, it's, I know what I'm doing. I'm coming upon something that is without guidance. Something is broken. You pass a house and there's a broken window. Then turn and look the other way and smile to yourself and say, not for me nor mine. Not for me nor mine. What that does is it infuses to the unconscious part of you, use guidance always, and definitely don't create that and manifest it to me. But if you say, oh my gosh, not for me nor mine, then you're using concern. Concern is negative emotion, and then you don't walk away from it. You carry it with you. So there is a way to walk towards loving experiences. And there's also a way to think that you are, but you're not. And that's what the world is doing with this law of attraction phenomenon. They are becoming more and more and more fearsome. Law of attraction is out to get me. It's a law of attraction gotcha. Law of attraction, which is sometimes referred to as the universe. The universe wants me to experience this. Well, no, the loving being was hoping that you wouldn't experience it. We don't devise negativity for physical lives, but sometimes it does get manifested. And so we want you to focus on the positive. We want you to notice what you see. We want you to notice what you experience. We want you to eat and notice what you taste. And if you like it, love it. And if you don't like it, put it down and order something else.
But don't dwell on it.
In favor of something else. Don't dwell on it. Just say, you know what? This, I don't like it. So this could not have been manifested with guidance. And I like guidance better. I like happy life better. Now, how often should you do that? Well, as often as it occurs to you, and as often as you can, while still using positive emotion. But if it starts to become disconcerting, and you concern yourself that you're doing it too much, or you can't stay in positive emotion while you're doing it, then now is not the time. In order to change your experience, in order to change the creations that are pushed to you, which is what you call manifesting, and have it be good, or have it be smoother, better, evidence that life is getting better, you have to feed the unconscious mind positivity. And so if life is terrible, every avenue of life, lost your job, middle of a divorce, problems with the house, the car's having problems, kids are screaming, dog peed on the rug, don't know your neighbors very well, don't like your neighborhood, etc., etc. Then what do? Take 5 minutes out of the morning, 5 minutes out of the afternoon, 5 minutes out of the evening, which anyone can do, and simply sit with the word happy. 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 You got to say it. You got to sing-song it. You got to use some breath work. Oh, happy. 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 Happy, 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 happy. I love happy. 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 Happy, 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 happy. I love happy. I love happy. And you sit with it, and you just spell it, and you just say it, and you just say you love it. You remind yourself that you love it. Because when you remind yourself that you love it, all of that is being fed back to the unconscious part of you. And as you do that, during the 5 minutes, thoughts will come to you. And if they are negative, brush them away. How do you brush them away? Just lift your foot a little bit, not with words. You can't brush it away with words. You'll activate it. Just lift your foot a little bit, and then keep going. Happy. I love happy. And in that 5 minutes, you will have a happy thought. And then you do it again in the afternoon. You do it again in the evening. And you will influence the unconscious part of you to begin removing some of the negativity that you are experiencing. Now, your life doesn't have to be full of suffering in order to do that. It could be good, and you want to extend it. You want to enrich it. Good for anybody. That's how you focus on love, and that's how you train. You're training. You're influencing the unconscious being to manifest to you a life that you adore. And that's the point. That's the point. Feedback loop. You are the feedback loop. You are not the creator. You are not the manifester. You are the feedback loop of what is being created and given to you.
Beautiful. I love that. Thank you for that explanation.
I do too. I can imagine Michael's writing notes like I'm writing notes of these teachings.
Copious. This is awesome. This is amazing. And that clarification just kind of put everything together for me. So thank you so much, teachers. Fabulous.
Yeah, and thank you for the tool, because so many of us are distracted, and the art of focusing we have become so disconnected from, and happy is a wonderful way to bring that practice back. And this is a question: does doing this simple practice help strengthen our connection to creation and being able to bring more things through the feedback loop? And if I can ask a second question, because here on the physical plane, we as human beings tend to question so many things. It seems that there is a lot of doubt currently in the collective. So how do we know when we're aligned? Are there ways that we can sense that alignment? Is it a sense of gratitude, peace, love, or just happy?
Well, you know how you feel. Mostly. But there are some other signs. Sometimes you spontaneously smile. And maybe someone notices it. What are you smiling about? Nothing. And so happy can turn into embarrassed, right? And so it's simply, nothing. I was just thinking about something. And so you know how you feel. And so someone that is spontaneously smiling, and someone says to them, what are you smiling about? And they feel ashamed. Nothing. Well, that's someone that is feeling strongly both positive and negative, all right? Not a 50-50 split, but let's just for, discussion, let's say maybe it's a 50-50 split, 60-40 split. But someone who smiles spontaneously and someone says to them, what are you smiling about? And they say, well, actually, I was just thinking about this. Well, that's a person who might be 80-20 or 90-10 in the happy zone. And so you know by how you feel and also how you respond. And so you want to be around people. You want to be around people because people give you feedback about what your emotions are. Are they talking to you? Are they looking at you? Are they turning away from you? Are they looking your way with curiosity? Are they interested in you? Are they not? Are they speaking to you in a way that makes you feel complimented? Or do you feel discouraged? Because what you put out, you will get back. And then, on those moments where feedback is good, do more of it, be around more people. Or go home and do something creative. Because you might have some kind of guidance that flows in. Because guidance can only be accepted by the unconscious mind when you are in that happy register, right? It's easy at pride and joy, easy for the unconscious mind to accept guidance at pride and joy. But human beings don't use pride and joy very often. You do things with confidence, but then you don't sit with it and then pat yourself on the back. You feel conceited, and you get discouraged because conceit is bad. So, but on the other hand, if you're out and, you're with friends, or if you're in a store, perhaps, and nobody is paying attention to you, you can't get someone to give you some feedback. You're looking for something and you can't find anyone. Well, your vibrational output is saying something like, I am not people-friendly in this moment. That's a time to breathe, relax, smile on purpose, find something good to think about or to look at, and love on something for a minute or a minute and a half, and then walk around again, and you'll notice a change. It doesn't take long to recreate a moment. You think time is steady and fluid, and you think moments are constant. You have manifesting going into the physical plane. But if you learn the technique of awareness and of pause, then you can redirect, and you will have a different manifestation. You could go shopping, and the manifestation could have been aggravating. You're looking for something, and you can't find anybody to help you find it. But if you learn the art of awareness and then the art of pause, then you say, I can't find anybody. I've been in here 10 minutes. Everybody's busy. Then go find an object to pick up and love on purpose, to change your emotional register, and then walk around again and watch how easy it is to capture someone's attention. You can't de-manifest, but you can redirect and receive something different. The mind can do that. The unconscious mind, the unconscious mind of the being who is creating and manifesting to you. But you got to know what you're doing, and you have to do it on purpose, and you got to do it with happiness. But you can redirect. You can cause redirection to occur. See, it really is a longer sentence. You can influence what you receive.
I so appreciate such incredibly insightful answers to my questions, teachers. I feel my awareness being expanded, and I love that feeling. You offer such powerful guidance. Michael, would you like to share your thoughts?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It just kind of drilled it down to something very tangible. Very tangible. And wonderful explanation. Thank you. Wow. Yeah, I was taking copious notes because there's so much richness here. So much.
We love you for it.
And we love you as well for sharing. Thank you. It's beautiful. So beautiful. And I think our listeners will really this is a conversation. It only happens once a month, but it is so deeply moving, loving, fun, happy, joyful to just be a witness to it. And it really is causing me to think about things that I do, how I feel, and when I go into places. That's what I was thinking when you just said that. When you go into a place and there's nobody, paying any attention to you, which is kind of rare for me. But however, there can be times. I'm human, and this is a wonderful exercise, a wonderful thing to engage in, I should say, to have to shift things, shift your own energy, shift your own feelings. And I love that. I've always loved it when you said, because you've been on the show, this is a year ago now, love on something. And I always remember that and tell people that all the time. So love on something. Love on something. Without feeling good, love on something. Say this is happy. I'm happy doing this. Right. I tell golfers all the time, same thing. When they're out playing golf, you had an errant shot. Love on yourself. Love on that club. Love on the trees that are here. Love on this beautiful carpet you're hitting off of, this grass. Love on the birds flying by. There's so much joy and beauty out there, and it just shifts, right? You just forget all about any negativity you've got going on, and you've just shifted your whole dynamic. And it works. It works. People just have to be willing to do it. Too many habits that are getting in the way is the way that I would put it. Habits of thinking, ways of thinking that are antiquated. And the fact that you're experiencing, that you're helping us experience a different way of living is precious and priceless.
I completely agree with you, because in society today, there really is a mindset of we want it now. We want it and we want it now. And people have become very impatient. And so just even having a way to step and find a quiet space and just for yourself tune into that happy, 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 and watch where everything changes. And I think when we're in that space of discord, that when you are able to step us away from that, it helps to bring our whole energy system into alignment. Am I correct, teachers?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Notice the positive, accentuate the positive. But when you are in negative, it is difficult to do so. So leave yourself a note. Put a fun thing on your screensaver of your phone. You all carry your phones with you everywhere. Leave breadcrumbs, right? Leave breadcrumbs. It's leave the kitchen clean. Leave a clean towel in the bathroom. Fluff the pillows. Because when you look at it, you will see, I like that. So it's not just words. It's not just reminders. Sometimes loving on yourself means do the things that you know you like. I like the water jug full, and so leave the water jug full. I like the gas tank full, so when it gets down to half, fill it back up. Don't wait until it's near empty. Don't procrastinate. But look at the things that are going well. The pillows are fluffed, but the laundry is not. The laundry needs my attention. Why would I look at a pillow? Because the pillow brings you happy. Look at the pillow. Appreciate the fact that the living room is picked up. Feel better. And then go fold the laundry. And then go fold the laundry, right? Because it's awfully difficult to fold laundry when you have a headache, or when you're feeling upset, or when you're busy, or when you really don't want to, right? When you really just don't want to. You want to do something else. Then be happy, and then do it, and watch how you do it faster. Watch how you do it faster. Or recognize that the unhappiness that you have in folding that laundry is because there is something else that you really want to do at that moment in time. But don't procrastinate on the laundry. Simply acknowledge, I have two things, and I'm pushing myself to do the one that I don't want. So I'm going to reverse the order. I'm going to go do that other thing, and then I'm going to do the laundry. Sometimes it's simple. Reverse the order. Don't be inflexible. Don't procrastinate and put things so far back on your to-do list that you don't get it done and then you're discouraged. Just reverse the order. Pay attention to how you feel is the point.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Yeah.
I
find myself doing that. Yeah, I do. I find myself doing that. It's like ever since you said, find joy in it, find love on it, I have the little things have become the things that, might have previously been something that I know I should be doing and haven't, which are, there's a lot of things to do around here. I just literally just take joy into everything. From getting up in the morning at 6:30 and feeding the dog to doing laundry to hey, let's wash the sheets and let me take this thing apart and wash the sheets and iron the pillowcases and put everything back together again. It's going to feel so awesome tonight when I get in there. Just love on it. It's made life a whole lot more fun, actually. There's a lot less angst or anything along those lines, the opposite of happy and joyful. And everything has become more joyful. And that's thanks to you, teachers, quite frankly, because of past conversations, things that I have just begun to engage. And it's a process, it's a step-by-step kind of a process of building that into my daily routine. Wake up happy, go to bed happy. I'm loving it. The last thing I do is walk my dog at 10 o'clock at night in the dark and look at the stars. I love it. I love it. I love seeing Venus and Jupiter conjunction. I love seeing the moon in its various phases, and it's joyful. I love seeing a little boy, just walk up and down the street. It's a joy to experience. And I come home and I sleep through the night. There's nothing on my mind that isn't joyful, isn't happy. And again, that's thanks to you. So appreciative.
I am so grateful as well to both you, Carol, and the teachers for making the time to join us and for sharing these incredible insights and for allowing us to recognize that we are not alone on this journey. I know that our listeners find so much value in these conversations. I have received countless messages from people expressing their thanks and sharing that the teachings have truly helped them.
I was wondering if the teachers wanted to say something there.
We love your appreciation. And when you do that for 5 minutes, you will reach the wavelength of joy. And when you reach the wavelength of joy, the unconscious mind will accept guidance for something. So that is a beautiful example of what to do. Just stretch it out. Make it a full 5 minutes. And repeat yourself. It's okay to repeat. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be something new every time you speak. If you can only think of 3 things, then talk about those 3 things, but stretch it out for 5 minutes. And you will reach joy. The mind will reach joy, and then guidance will be accepted for something. It's good. We love you. We love these conversations. We love your appreciation, but we love you, and we love your appreciation. We love the being who is manifesting love and appreciation, and we love this podcast, and we love both beings who are part of creating and manifesting the opportunity to share this podcast with the world, and we love being a part of it. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you, teachers and Carol, for opening up your channel and bringing forth the luminous wisdom and insights from the teachers. It's truly a gift, not only to Michael and I, but I really feel to the world. And it's just so incredible. And just for our listeners, if you would like to tune into more of the teachings of the teachers and wisdom that they bring through Carol, the best way to do that is through channelingtheteachers.com. There are wonderful workshops. You can find out about private sessions as well as some of the classes. And, of course, the magazine that so inspires me, Synergistic Wellness. And, Carol, are there some things that you would like to share before we close today?
Oh, goodness. Let's talk about the Wellness magazine, because that is a monthly contribution, and it's inexpensive, which doesn't mean something to everybody, but some people are looking for just small ways, small things to add to their budget and their time. It's a digital, beautifully put together wellness magazine. It has excerpts from different workshops and different channelings, and then it has the full schedule of everything in the back. It's guidance. And so it's by subscription, and that's on the website. It's a wonderful thing to have and also to refer back to. The workshops are enlightened. It's a 4-part series, new and different topics that the teachers bring forward every month. There is Our Knowing once a month, and that's the Q&A. That's the one that supplements, private sessions. And then there is a 4-hour, one Saturday a month, called Resonance, and it's the healing workshop. And the teachers do amazing things that they can do in such a short amount of time for people. So if you feel drawn to one or some or all, please do. And if you're just intrigued by it, then perhaps just go through the website and feel what it's all about, and then bookmark it. And then I hope to see you all in a private session or a workshop, or see you on one of the subscription notices soon.
You will.
Yeah.
Excellent. I mean to do that, actually. Today, give us your website, Carol, where they can go sign up for that.
It is channelingtheteachers.com. Very easy. Channelingtheteachers.com.
Thank you so much. And I really appreciate you sharing, Carol, that you carry a notebook as well with your questions. Because sometimes I think we forget that you are in your own journey and your experience of their wisdom as well, and you're learning alongside us, and it's such a gift. It really is. I mean,
I really
I'd love
do.
to have a peek into your notebook.
It's so funny. I have it broken down between, relationships and occupation and financial things and physical things and, pets and animals, the world at large, different things. And it's Q1, Q2, Q3. And one by one, the teachers or my personal guide have answered them all. It's a running list of different things that I find as topics of interest, things that I want to know more about. And it's, either in a workshop or in a private conversation that I have with them, that they just, explain how things work, why things are the way they are, and, advanced information many times about what they'll be teaching in the workshops, and it's fun.
Right, and that would be a good thing for our listeners, too. If this conversation, you re-listen to it and you have questions, jot it down in a notebook and join a workshop where you'll be able to ask the questions as well to the teachers. And I think that's what is so wonderful, because it's so accessible and it's just right there. And if you're thinking the question, probably somebody else is too. I mean, I think that's sort of the way that it seems to work. It's amazing how we are truly all connected, and we're all gifted with this wisdom. It's just so beautiful.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. So appreciative, Bill, that you come on. Thank you. It's delightful. It's been very delightful to have you join us, Carol.
Anytime.
Look forward to it. Yeah. Next month, you'll be back.
Yeah. And I can't wait to report on all that has come in through creation and what is meant to unfold. And this has been such an incredible masterclass from the teachers on creation. Remember, follow the breadcrumbs that lead you to happy. And whenever you feel yourself getting caught up by a challenge or a distraction, remind yourself what the teacher said, not this for me nor mine. Take a deep breath, breathe in happy, and simply affirm, love is where I am, and joy is what I am choosing to experience right now. Carol, thank you again for opening your channel and for sharing the luminous insights from the teachers with us. And to you, our listeners, thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts for sharing your time with us. Keep focusing on your happy, keep enjoying the process, and as always, keep connecting to love. And of course, remember to peace out. Take care.
Bye-bye.